Gotta ask you if you're feeling like a Mexican resident now. I mean, you've been down here for quite a while.
Soy mexicana ahora, you know what I'm saying? No, I've been feeling good. I was in Zacatecas for 2 weeks before we came down to Mexico City, and one of my favorite things about fighting is being able to travel and experience different cultures. So yeah, all the other Mexican guys on the card are teasing me because it's like 2 weeks in Mexico, you're listening to Spanish music and wearing a cowboy hat. So, yeah, man, having fun.
I like it. Who made the call to do that? Because I know it's an inconvenience of life, right? I mean, you got family, you got things to do. I mean, it's extra money, I imagine, as well. So who makes the call to say, we got to do this?
Sarge, man. Sarge in charge. I make the calls. I obviously convened with a couple of guys from Jersey. I'm under Mark Henry. So we kind of had a debate on how long to go out. I talked to Ali. I talked to some other fighters that fought in elevation. And I just decided, let's do like 3 weeks. That seemed to be like the average. Some people said 5. Some people said a week. My favorite piece of advice was from Eddie Alvarez, though. Eddie was like, it's not real. If you don't believe it, it's not real. So I was like, that's pretty gangster. That's kind of like, yeah, I'm gonna go out early anyway. But Eddie was like, fuck it, it's no big deal.
That sounds like Eddie Alvarez.
Like Eddie, right?
Well, I mean, obviously you'll find out on Saturday, you know, how big of a difference it makes. But as far as the lead up, I mean, did you feel the altitude when you first got here? And at least at this point, do you feel like we definitely made the right call?
Well, I mean, at this point, it's the right call no matter what. So it is what it is. You got it. Once you roll the dice, it's out. So, but I felt good. I think even if not for nothing, I felt good up in Zacatecas, which is a little bit higher than Mexico City. I've been feeling good the whole 2 weeks I was out there. I've been feeling good this week so far, losing the weight. So, regardless of whether I'm 10,000 feet up or sea level, I know I'm in good shape. So I have the confidence in that. It's just a little bit of extra professionalism on the top, you know. And I think no matter where I fight, bitch, I'm the better cardio machine, so it is what it is.
What was the experience like there in Zacatecas? Because it wasn't just you. I mean, at least you didn't have to go on a camp by yourself. I mean, there was a crew of y'all out there that went out there. Did that make it kind of a unique training environment?
Absolutely made a unique training environment. I love my Jersey team. I love my home, but being able to train with the guys from Alliance, I knew Eric Del Fiero from a couple of years ago, and I've always been a fan of Jeremy Stevens. I knew Angela Hill from being around. So being able to train with them and their team was like, yeah, it's like training with your cousins, you know? You know your brothers and sisters, you know your home, but you get to spend summer with your cousins, and it's a little bit different. And of course they train hard, so that's always what I'm looking for, some hard training and some friendly guys. And I also got to meet a lot of the other Mexican fighters on the card, like Teco and Brandon Morena, and there was a lot of guys from Tijuana up there, so it made for almost like a fighter union. Like we all just kind of put our own little piece in, and it was a good time.
That's cool. Let's talk about the time since your last fight. I mean, fight of the night last time out, but didn't go your way. I mean, good fight, get a little extra money, which is nice. But what's been the focus? What's been going on inside you since that fight?
Man, just keep fighting, man. Keep climbing the ladder. You know, my record I don't think really reflects my skill set and how good I am. And it's just, you know, I kind of realized after the Aspen fight, I just gotta keep fighting, keep winning. It is what it is. I'm brand new to the division. It's only my second fight at 35, and I'm not in a rush, man. I got my goals set in mind, and we just gotta keep winning, keep climbing. It is what it is. So soon as Aspen was done, I took my first 2 weeks off in 2 years and had to spend some good times with my family and my girlfriend and my daughter, and just got right back in the gym. Just, hey, let's keep sharpening these tools.
As far as Aspen Lad goes, are you done with that one? I mean, you've had enough Aspen Lad already, or now does it make it?
I haven't had enough of Aspen Lad. Are you kidding me? And I don't know how Aspen feels about it, but that was a hell of a fight, man. If you look at her record, I'm the only one that gave her some go. So I don't know if she's had enough. I definitely haven't had enough. Hell no. I'm going to keep cracking at that. I was like, I need one more. I win the next one. That's the third one. Then we got to do a best of 5 or something like that.
I like it. Well, talk about it a little bit. I mean, it sounds like you got the right attitude, but, you know, it's funny because you've been through so many hurdles in your career already, it feels like. But you hadn't lost in a while. You hadn't had an official loss in a while. So I just wonder what that experience was like, and you know, if it was tough on you.
Yeah, losing sucks. That's never a good time. But at the end of the day, I feel like the performance I put on that night in Rochester was probably one of the best performances of my career. I've looked, and I don't think there's been another female fight that good. We got fight of the night that night for a reason. And I just think striking wise, that's the best I felt in a fight. It's the best I've looked in a fight. And even though I didn't get what I wanted out of it, I felt good. It wasn't as bad of a stinger as I think another loss would have been. Like those kind of losses where you feel like, did I do enough? Those kind of losses where you feel like, did I do enough in camp? And I did everything I was supposed to do. She just got in that second round, just fucked me up pretty bad. Maybe I should grapple a little bit more.
It's a thought. Is 35 definitely the home though? I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
35's the home. 35's the home. And I'm a lot leaner. Like, look, I woke up like I'm nice and lean. This cut has been smooth so far. It looks like it's gonna be smooth sailing so far. I'm able to train really to my fullest potential, and I think that was the biggest difference between 35 and 25. Is at 25 I couldn't really spend that time between camps working on me as a fighter. I had to spend that time between camps. Like, all right, let's get back down. Like, even without a fight signed, I had to constantly be trying to figure out how much I weighed. So 35, I just feel a lot better. I feel a lot stronger. I feel a lot fluid, and I'm happier, man. Like Mike Tyson said it best. Like, a happy fighter is a dangerous fighter, and like I feel good at 35.
Talk about the matchup with Betch. I mean, she's a former title challenger. I think some people might say that you're more technically sound, but at the same time, like, she seems to go out there and prove she's like tougher than people expect her to be every time. You know what I mean? So, give me your thoughts on the matchup and just kind of how your games pair up with each other.
I think they pair up nicely. I'm really happy for this fight. I think, of course, I match up well with Betch Kadea. I think I have more tools to bring to the table. I think I have better cardio. And I think, Betch is tough. We've watched her film, obviously. But, again, like, I think I'm a sleeper. Everyone I fought in the UFC is tougher than they seem. Roxanne is always tougher than she seems. Like, Aspen Ladd is tougher than she seems. Even Lauren Murphy, like, no one's finished her. Like, it's not like I'm fighting tomato cans out here. I'm fighting girls that on paper look like, oh, like, that's a fight, but it's still like, these girls are veterans that I've fought. These girls have a lot of fights that I've fought, and everyone that I've fought in this division, no one's an easy go. No one's a walk in the park per se. And that's what I like. I don't want any easy fights. I want fights that are going to challenge me, but I want fights. Obviously, right now I'm trying to put up some W's, and I think Betch is going to line up real nicely for what we have planned on Saturday night.
It's interesting because, you mentioned it, like your record. If you just looked at your record and nothing else, you'd be like, well, whatever, she's okay. But obviously you have a lot of talent and a lot of skills. Like, is that hard to kind of balance out? I mean, do you feel like you're still proving things to doubters every time out, or you're still proving things to other people? I mean, how do you deal with that?
I mean, I don't really have to prove anything per se. Like, I mean, look, I've been on the wrong side of the Twitter beefs with fans, and I've been on the right side, so it is what it is. I don't have anything to prove. The only thing I have to prove is to myself, man. It takes guts just to even do what we do as professionals. So there's nothing more to prove. If anybody got, just go ahead, you give it a shot, guy. Why don't you try to be a professional fighter? So there's nothing to prove. The only thing I want to prove is that I deserve to fight the best. And that's it. My goal in my career is to be a UFC champion. So whatever it takes to get there, So and if I gotta prove to the brass that I deserve it, then whatever. So if I gotta, you want me to fight Betch? Who's next? Like, whatever. Like, Aspen, all right. I mean, I'm young in my career, obviously in the UFC, but I never turned anybody down. Never asked for more time. Never did anything. Like, anybody want to fight Valentina? 4 weeks notice, I'll do it. So it is what it is. There's nothing to prove other than I ain't just going out and winning fights. I guess I gotta prove to the brass that I'm better than what my record shows. But I think the UFC brass, I think they respect me. I think they know. I think they know a little bit more than the fans do, and I think they respect me a lot more than the fans see on paper. And also, I am 5-3 officially on the UFC website, and 4-3 on the rest of the media pages. I'm just saying. My last fight in the Ultimate Fighter versus Roxanne was an official sanctioned bout. And first should be 7-3, but I'll leave that alone.
Well, talk to me about what you feel like the stakes are here, because as you said, even though you are so early in your career, everything's been talked about title, because you were right there at the beginning, and then so you're still right there. Now that you had the setback, do you feel like now you get to step back a little bit and maybe evolve and develop, or do you still feel like every fight is to prove I'm a number one contender?
No, evolve. And I think that was the big thing. I think for me, that's what I learned the most in that whole debacle between missing the weight at the finale of the Ultimate Fighter and then coming back and then getting the title shot pulled from Valentina. I think my first year and a half, 2 years in the UFC was all about my next fight's for the title. I'm fighting for the title. Because that's what I desire so much. It's the number one thing that I want. And so to have it so close was like, But going to 35 and having some reflection and having some maturity and working with these other professionals, like look at Frankie Edgar, Eddie Alvarez, even Caitlin. Like, these fighters have so many fights, and that experience helps. And going into if I'd have made it to the title shot with Nico, I'd have been fighting for a belt with my second, third pro fight, like, and so I'm not mad at it. Like, I got plenty of time left in my career. I got plenty of time left in my body. I'm healthy. I'm durable. So it took a lot of reflection, but like 9-10 months ago, I was like, you know what? Let me just take my time, develop myself as a fighter, and enjoy the ride, man. What's the rush?
No question about it. Well, you still obviously want to rack up those wins as you get there. So
Obviously.
give me an idea. You put the investment in. I mean, when you play this one out in your head on Saturday night, you said she's tough, but you think you're better. So how do you get this one done?
No, we're gonna get a knockout, man. It's about time I put somebody out. I've had a lot of decisions. I'm sick of these 3 rounds, yo. Bang, let's get it out of here. That's the goal. My goal is to finish Bechkere on Saturday night. I don't like to call rounds. It's a little weird for me. But my goal is we've been feeling good on this camp, and I really do feel like her chin is looking real juicy right now.